Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I am the brains and the beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. Today on this yarn chat, I've got my delightful Pebbled Path cardigan as my featured make this week. I love this cardigan. It's got this cool bead stitch here on the cuffs and then also the bottom, and it has pockets. And of all the cardigans that I have made, I think I throw this one over anything and everything the most. I made it using Scout yarn in this gorgeous green color. It's almost, it almost looks tonal because it's got a little bit of lighter greens and with the darker green, but I love it. It's super cozy, super comfy, and yeah, so this Pebble Path cardigan from Herman. I've pattern tested for her on a lot of her cardigans and a lot of her wearables. I love the way that she writes, so that's what I've got on today. I also have on the most adorable earrings. They're yarn, they're little yarn skeins. The middle schoolers that I work with today were just fascinated by the yarn earrings, and they were like, "Oh, and also, did you make your cardigan?" Like, of course I did. These are a gift from my sister-in-law. I don't remember the name of the company, but if I find it, I'll let you know. But I love these. They're great. And they're really lightweight. They've got a little bit of wood on the inside that the yarn is wrapped around, but they're awesome. So last week I had tons of things to show you. This week I do not, which is good. Balance is important. So I'm going to start with the only thing I have finished since last week, and that is this beautiful nameless sweater. Ta-da! I made this over the weekend because I had finished all the projects that I had to have done on a deadline, and I've had this yarn in my stash for over a year, and I thought it would be a table runner. I thought it would be a tree skirt. I thought it might be placemats, but after finishing everything that I need to finish, I'm like, I just need to play. I just need to make something because I wanna. And so I didn't have a pattern for this. I didn't make a pattern for this. It's all extended single crochet. I made a collar, like a yoke, not a collar, that fit around kind of where I wanted it to fit. And then I increased as it made sense at regular intervals. I split for the sleeves when it felt big enough. I did the body until I ran out of yarn. And that's how I did this. So it felt really good to do something without a deadline, without an agenda. I'm not trying to write a pattern for this, just because I felt like it, just to use up yarn, and I've already worn it once and I love it. It's got a little bit of glitter in it. I don't really think it's coming through, but it's like a gold stellina, and it's 100% acrylic yarn. It's got a thick, thin texture, which is why I didn't try to get fancy with the stitches. It's all the same thing. And this is KC, which is a Joanne affiliated brand. Their Spark yarn, which I don't think they have anymore. I know that I bought this on clearance, and like I said, it's been in my stash for a while. But I used 2 cakes of the green, and I used most of a cake of like this maroon color, and I love it. It's nice, it's cozy, it's comfy. This is the way that I crocheted for a long time, where I would just do something because I felt like it, or I saw something like, oh, I wonder if I can make that, let me try it. And for me, there's just a freedom in doing that. Obviously, that does not work all of the time. It does not work if anybody else wants to make one of these. It does not work if you are trying to replicate it again. But it works if you just have a project that you just want to see if you can do it. And it's just fun to play with yarn. And it also just very low risk, because this is yarn I already had in my stash. I'm just making this for me. It wouldn't break my heart if it didn't fit right. And I did have to change the yoke once because I had too many increases and it was doing a weird kind of ruffly thing that didn't make sense. But this was a fun project. And like I said, I did it in a weekend, and I just kind of felt like a boss after that. So the other project that I'm working on, my only current whip, is this guy. Ta-da! This is going to be a Towpath cardigan from Terrapin Fiberworks, and this cardigan, Towpath cowl from Terrapin Fiberworks. And the way that this works is that you use 2 skeins of DK and this 2-stitch I'll hold it so you can see it a little bit better. It's cool. We know how I feel about saying knit stitches and acting like knitting is a superior look to crochet, but the way that it's talked about is these knit-like stitches on the front, and then the back looks a little bit different. You can kind of see more dimension on the back, but you use 2 skeins and then you fold them over. So let me see if I can give you a good visual. You fold it over like this, and then when you seam it, you twist it. So when you wear it, let's see if I twist it like this. All right, so imagine that this is done on both sides, and I throw it on. This is gonna be a challenge. I throw it on like this, and with the twist, you'll see one side featured, and then the other color will be on the inside. So I like this a lot. I've seen a lot of people I know pattern test it, and their pictures are all gorgeous. And I bought this yarn from Montana Crochet for Small Business Saturday, and I love it. I love the way it's working up. I work so much in fingering weight yarn now, which is very, very thin, that every time I use DK, I'm like, oh, this has got a little bit of extra coziness in it. I like it. And I started with the more variegated color because it was a little bit lighter, and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to see my stitches with the darker color, but I totally can. So I might finish this before we leave on a trip this weekend. I don't plan on taking it with me because I think that I would finish it very quickly if I did take it with me, and then it would just be sitting waiting for me to block it. So I don't think I'll take it with me, but I do have a couple of ideas for projects that will go with me for the plane ride and the car ride. But this is my only current whip right now. I have a plethora of ideas for other ones, but this is my only current one. And then the only yarn I bought, I know, why did you buy yarn? You have so much. You had so much last time. Well, I bought yarn because I am going to make a sweater over Christmas that I've wanted to make for a while, and this is kind of my treat to myself as like a fun project that I'm waiting until Christmas break to start. I'm waiting until I have time to really enjoy it. And I'm going to be making the Goldfinch sweater by Haley Bailey, and this is the yarn I'm using. It's so pretty. I waffled on a couple of colors. Originally I was thinking a red or maybe like a really chartreusey green. So I went to Spun, which I love, and I looked at all their options. I was originally thinking I was going to use Barocco's vintage line because those are pretty affordable. They're about $9 a skein, but none of the colors really felt right. And then I did find a really pretty green that I liked a lot, but they didn't have quite enough that I would feel comfortable buying all of that they had to make the sweater. I was afraid I would run out, and then would I be able to get something in a similar dye lot? So I landed with this, and this is a Malabrigo yarn, $16 a skein. So not as expensive as some hand dyeds can be. A lot of the times those can be, you know, $25, $30. Not quite as cheap, not quite as inexpensive as the vintage that I was looking at. Kind of like a happy medium, and I just could not put this color down. It's called Sunset, and for a Goldfinch sweater, I mean, it seems appropriate, and I think it'll look really nice with my hair and my skin color. So yes, I got a sweater's quantity in this, which was nice because I used a little bit of birthday money and a little bit of money that I made from a big order that I did for my mom. So it was nice to kind of say, okay, this is my treat project. This is how I'm going to fund this treat project. Now I get to make the treat project. So I'm excited about this. I'm not even going to wind this up until next week because I'm like, no, you can't start it yet. You will finish it, and then you'll have nothing fun to work on over the break. I'm also going to work on the Rancher shawl with my library mini skeins. And then I have some fun Wonderland yarn too that I'm going to do something with. And then I have another idea for a Tunisian cowl. So I have ideas for winter break. And theoretically, I will have time as well as ideas during winter break as well. So that is all I've got for you this week. I will leave you with what I can't let go. And what I can't let go of is looking forward to rest and looking forward to relaxation. I feel like in a lot of jobs, as we get close to the holidays, especially if you work with students, that the last couple of weeks, your brain has to go a million miles a minute to get caught up with everything, to make sure everybody's doing what they need to do, because the end is in sight. And I'm just very much looking forward to rest and relaxation. So I hope that in the season that you get time to do that as well. I probably won't be doing a podcast until January when we come back. There might be some tutorials that I put out, especially if the Tunisian cowl works out the way I hope it will. But it will be after the holiday break that I'll be back in this format again. You can always follow me on Instagram and Facebook if you want to see what I've been up to. And with that, I'll leave you until next time. Bye, guys.